The essay question I chose to discuss is the Tent Embassy a symbolic gesture that is no longer politically relevant? The Tent Embassy was established in 1972 by 4 Aboriginal activists who set up a beach umbrella on the lawns of Parliament House in protest of the Australian government's refusal to acknowledge Indigenous Aboriginal land rights. The essay will discuss the debate in the past years questioning the Aboriginal Tent Embassy and its political relevance. The Tent Embassy has been viewed by some as an eyesore. However, in its establishment, this encouraged the campaign as it drew much attention to how many Indigenous, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people live in Australia. The government's response to the Tent Embassy resulted in an increased awareness nationally for the struggle for justice by Indigenous Aboriginal people in Australia, and for the first time their issues were put onto the national political agenda. The Tent Embassy became the face for many Indigenous, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. It was used as a voice for the wider Indigenous Australian communities who needed to share their concerns. It used to be a place for politicians, policies and exchange of ideas from one party to another, but the question debated today is, what is it used for now? Has it lost its once political power? The essay outlines and discusses different Indigenous, Aboriginal, Torres Strait Islander organisations that exist today. The discussion is in regards to the Tent Embassy and its political relevance, if these organisations exist. With today's increased technology, there are many modes of communication. It's questioned whether the Tent Embassy is any longer required to voice such concerns as it did in the past. Organisations such as the ACT, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander elected body, represent the Indigenous, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people community. This organisation can be defined as politically relevant. This essay will also highlight the Embassy as a symbolic gesture and discuss how the Tent Embassy is represented in the past and today. The sign Embassy placed at the Tent Embassy when first established was to represent a displaced nation. This was the first symbol and representation of Indigenous, Aboriginal people and non-Indigenous people within Australia. The Tent Embassy uses various objects that can be interpreted as a representation of the Tent Embassy and the people who value it. These include the sacred fire, spears, white sticks and flags, and signs such as embassy and sovereignty. The Tent Embassy has also become a place for non-Indigenous and international visitors to meet and talk with Indigenous Aboriginal people to learn firsthand about their history. In conclusion, the Tent Embassy is perceived amongst most findings as a symbolic gesture or a symbolic statement as such. Since first establishment in 1972, Australia has evolved in many ways, but as outlined in the essay, some issues for the Indigenous, Aboriginals and Torres Strait Islander people have been addressed or recognised, however many have a long way to go. It has also been suggested that the reason for the first establishment of the Tent Embassy still the reason it is here today. The Tent Embassy will remain a symbol and a reminder of the struggles for Indigenous, Aboriginal, Torres Strait Islander people, and an inspiration for the rights and acknowledgement of how far they have come. The Tent Embassy is highlighted in the essay as a significant symbol representing continuous political struggle. Politically relevance is still questionable, as it is hard to define due to different interpretations. It will continue to promote issues and challenges of Indigenous community alongside implementation of supporting organisations.